Hello, hello, am I audible?
Sir,
Okay. So, in the last class, we were discussing about the Wilkinson power divider. So, today we will do that discussion, that is Wilkinson power divider, how the power will be divided into the output ports between port 2 and port 3. Okay. So, as we discussed the disadvantages of the T junction, which is not matched at the output ports, and also there is no isolation between the output ports. That is what T junction. But if you take the resistive divider, it will be having matched at the output ports, but the power which is divided, it is not exactly complete power it will going to divide. So the loss will happen in the resistor which is considered in the network. So only half of the power it is going to be delivered to the output ports. So that's why in order to match the output ports as well as in order to reduce the loss, so we go for this Wilkinson power divider. So this is in the planar form. So you can see here, so there is a resistor here between port 2 and port 3, and this is in the planar form, and this is in the, so whatever the circuit kind of schematic or transmission line kind of schematic. So now this is port 2 and this is port 3. So in order to analyze this one, we use the technique called even and odd mode analysis. So since the circuit is symmetric, so we can use this technique so for the uh, analysis of this Wilkinson power divider. So what is meant by even mode? So in the last class, as I said, so if you put the voltage at port 2 and port 3 as equal voltages, that is equal phase and equal magnitude. So then, so at the resultant voltage, it will be input as 4 volts, and if you give the opposite phases, then it will be considered as odd mode. Okay, and if it is the magnitude and phase, if it is same, then it will be even mode, and if it is opposite phase with the equal magnitude, then it is a odd mode. Okay, and these conditions should be means in the Wilkinson power divider, these conditions will be satisfied. That is, it will be matched at the all the ports, and it will be reciprocal since the network is symmetric, and it is a lossy. Because why it is a lossy means there is a resistor here. So in order to, if any slight mismatch is there between port 2 and port 3, whatever the reflection which is coming, that will be dissipated through this resistor. So that's why this is lossy. So as we know, the 3-port network at a time we cannot able to achieve all these 3 conditions, that is matched, reciprocity, and as well as lossless. So here we are compromising one of the parameter, which is lossless condition. We are taking network as a lossy network. So now, as I said, so to analyze, so we are using the even and odd mode analysis. So now first, in order to analyze this using even and odd mode analysis, first we need to normalize the all the impedances in this network. So now if you normalize all these impedances, so what you will get at input, you are getting Z0 by Z0 equal to 1, and root 2 Z0 divided by Z0, you will get a root 2, and at the output ports it will become 1. So how the normalized the network it will be look like? So you can see here. So if this is your network, okay, and you will be having two separate Z0, and here it will be having Z0, and this is root 2 Z0, and here also this is Z0, and this is root 2 Z0, and this is having a transmission line of length lambda by 4, so we can represent like this, and this represent it as a output port, which is root, so which is 2 Z0. Okay, this is 2 Z0. So now if we, the first step is to normalize all these things. So now if you normalize this one, so this in the port impedance at the port 2 and port 3, it will become 1. Okay, So this will be Z0 by Z0. So this will become normalized value, that is Z0 n, normalized value it will become 1. Here also normalized value it will become 1. And here, so it will become root 2. Okay, so if you normalize this value, it will become root 2. So that we will take it as Z. So then we will prove this Z as root 2. And here, so the normalized at this port 1. Okay, so this normalized value as 1. So now we divide this network and in the symmetric form, and we can rewrite it as, so since there is a normalized value it is 1, so we can put it as a two parallel resistors, okay, connected at this port. Okay, so we'll take this as 2 and this as 2. Okay, so now since the port is normalized to 1, so we divide this port as a two resistors which is having a value 2 and 2. Now with this parallel combination, if you take a resultant, it will become 1. Again it will be a normalized one. So now in the similar way, so you connect it to the port values, that is which is having a root 2. So this will be having Z, we have defined it as Z, and it will be having the length of lambda by 4. Okay, so and then so this will be also grounded, and here also it will be grounded, and it will be having a lambda by 4, and which will be having a value of Z. So now this is one point and this is another point here. So now here the output port is again normalized, so I will connect it as the value 1, R value 1, and here also I will connect it as R value 1. Okay, so this is the port 3 and this is a port 2. So now we need to assign the voltage values, okay, here also and here also. So now we'll take this as VG2 and VG3, the voltage at port 2 and voltage at port 3. Okay, and between port and port 3, so there is a resistance which is having 2 Z0, and if you take this one as normalized value, so which will become 2. So now that will be divided as the series resistance which is having 1 and 1 value. So this is, if you add it in series, you will get the value, normalized value 2. So now this is what the normalized circuit. And if you want to analyze with the even mode analysis, now whatever VG2 and VG3, you have to give it to the voltage, same voltage 2 V0, which is having the same magnitude and same phase. Okay, so now, so if you apply the even analysis, even mode analysis, so what will happen, because of this symmetry, so you can divide the circuit exactly half of this. If you divide the circuit half of the part, so the circuit which is look like upper portion and lower portion, it will be same. So since it is symmetric and it is applied the same voltage here, so because of that, so the circuit in the exactly half of the portion, so at these points it will become the open circuit. Okay, so if the applied voltage at port 2 and port 3, it will be same. So since because of the symmetry, so this portion wherever it is there points, these points will become open circuit. So now if we rewrite that one in the open circuit format, so you will get the resistance 2, and here you will be having a Z value, okay, which is having lambda by 4, and here again you will be having the resistance 1, and you will be having a source, and this will be VG2, and this will be equal to 2 V0. Okay, so here there is a resistance, half of the circuit resistance, this will become open circuit, and this also becomes open circuit. Okay, so now first we need to find out what is the value of Z. Okay, so in order to find that value of Z, just we'll apply the lambda by 4 transformer equation. You know the characteristic impedance, how to find the lambda by 4 transformer. So it is nothing but the input impedance equal to Z0 square by ZL. Okay, so where the input impedance is the input impedance looking into the lambda by 4 transformer, and ZL is the impedance of the load, and Z0 is the characteristic impedance of the lambda by 4 transformer. So using this equation, similarly we'll apply here. So now if I look into the input impedance at this side, so since this is open circuited and this is open circuited, so whatever the impedance which will look from here, so the current will flow completely here and it will go here. So your input impedance will become the same normalized value, that is in the even mode, which will be equal to 1. Okay, so now if I want to find out Z, so this will be equal to again Z0 square by ZL. So we apply the same equation. So now what is Z0? So Z0 is nothing but your the transmission line Z, so which is equal to Z, and load it will be equal to here the value 2. So this will be equal to 2 and the input impedance will be 1. Okay, so now what your instead of Z0 square we have to put the value of Z, which is Z square. So now this will become, that is Z square equal to 2 and your Z will be equal to root 2. So now that's what we have defined here. So which is the value of Z is root 2. So this is how we will get the value of Z equal to root 2. Okay. So now we need to find the voltage at these points. So that is V2 E and V1 E. So now if I find the voltages at these points, then we can able to find out the what is uh, the E1 mode, the voltages, and that will be V2E and V1. So now if I consider this one as the transmission line, as I said, this is lambda by 4 transmission line. If I take this as x equal to 0 and x equal to minus lambda by 4, so if I travel from like this, so or if since the source is like this, so if you travel in the negative direction, this will become minus lambda by 4. If I travel from the load side, it will be so lambda by 4. So you take it as x equal to 0 and x equal to lambda by 4. So I need to find out what is the voltage at this point and what is the voltage at this point. Now I'll find out the what is the voltage at this point using the transmission line equation. So what is the voltage at this point using transmission line equation? So you can just use the transmission line equation for finding out V2E. So now what is the transmission line equation? That is V of x equal to, that is P plus into e power minus j beta x plus gamma into e power plus j beta x. Okay. So now use this equation and we have to find out what is the voltage at lambda by 4 point. That is nothing but your V2E. Okay. So what is the, you put the value of x as lambda by 4. So beta x we need to find. What is beta? Which is equal to 2 pi by lambda. Then what is x? It is lambda by 4. So now what your beta x will be? It will become, it is pi by 2. So beta x will be equal to pi by 2. So now substitute that one, e power minus j pi by 2 plus gamma into e power j pi by 2. Okay, so now this will become, so if you simplify this, you will get v plus into 1 minus gamma, which is, if you take j outside, so since it is cos beta x plus j sin beta x, you take that and you simplify, you will get the this equation, that is j into v plus into 1 minus gamma. Similarly, if you calculate what is 1 v1e, which is equal to v of 0, this will be equal to v plus, so you substitute b of beta x equal to 0, you will get 1 plus gamma. Okay, so now these are the two equations. So now if I want to find what is the value of the v plus, so then what you have to do, so you just take these two equations. Okay, this one equation, so say for example this is 1 and this is 2. So now if you uh, Okay, so now if you take this one and if you adjust the parameters for this V2E and V1E, so you will get the value of V plus. So now how we will get? So V plus will be equal to, that is, or just V2E you can substitute it here. So what is the value of V2E from the circuit? Okay, so here if you take this circuit, so here you have applied the value of 2V0, and if this is the point where it is V2E. So now if you uh, so you take this equation and you find out the value of V plus in this equation. So this is your V2E. Okay, so now find out the V plus here, so that will become, that is V2E divided by J into 1 minus gamma. Okay, so similarly, what is so this V2E, so you have to find out by using the equations or circuit. So that will become so the, since we are applying the voltage to V0, so the V0 which will be drop out from here, and another V0 too, it will be delivered here. So the 2V0 it will be divided between these two resistors. So whatever the voltage which will appear at this point, it will be equal to V0. So that you need to substitute here. So you will get V0 divided by J into 1 minus gamma. So this is the equation for V plus, and you can substitute for similarly V1E. So what is V1E? So V1E equal to, so similarly you can find out V plus in terms of V1E. So that is 1 plus gamma. So similarly if you substitute, that is V0, so you will get V plus equal to V0 divided by 1 plus gamma. Okay, so this is one equation and this is another equation. So now, so you can find it out what is V plus in terms of this equation. So if you substitute V plus, so whatever we got here, so then you will get the value for, so even the V0 value also. Okay, so now if you substitute either V plus into the equation here, so whatever V plus we got, if you substitute this V plus from this equation, you will get the voltage for V1. So that will be equal to, that is P plus is nothing but V0 into J into 1 minus gamma. So what is the remaining part? This is into 1 plus gamma. So this is your V1E and this is your, so V plus. So you will get in terms of gamma. So that is V1E in terms of the reflection coefficient, that is V0 by into V0 into 1 plus gamma, so divided by J into 1 minus gamma. So now we know the reflection coefficient equation, which is equal to ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0. So now substitute these values, you will get the value for reflection coefficient. So now ZL equal to, so whatever value we took here, that is the resistance value, which is equal to 2. And similarly you will be having a Z0 value, which is for this transmission line, which is, so this is, we have derived it as root 2. So now we will get, so 2 minus root 2 divided by 2 plus root 2. So now if you look at the input side of the transmission line, so if you look at this input side of the transmission line, what is the reflection coefficient? This is 2 minus root 2 divided by 2 plus root 2. So that is what your reflection coefficient gamma. Okay. So now if you substitute that gamma into this equation, you will get the voltage what is V1E. Okay, so substitute the value of gamma and you will get it the equation. So that is, so V1E equal to that is V0 into 1 plus gamma divided by J into 1 minus gamma. So just if you substitute gamma equal to 2 minus root 2 divided by 2 plus root 2, whatever we get earlier. So what you will get, V0 into 1 plus 2 minus root 2 divided by 2 plus root 2, this divided by J into 1 minus 2 minus root 2 divided by 2 plus root 2. Okay, so now if you substitute this one, okay, so the simplified value of V1E you will get it. So that is V1E equal to, if you take this one upper side and resultant after calculation, which is equal to minus J into V0 into root 2. So you will get after simplification of this, this is the value, that is minus J 2 into, so root 2 into V0. In terms of V0, this is the, so V1E, and also we have calculated what is V2E. Okay, so these are the two voltages. And similarly, if you want to consider the odd mode, okay, so odd mode means we have to excite the voltage in the opposite phase. So if we excite that one, so this is the even mode which we have discussed here, okay, using transmission line equation and all. So now this is the odd mode. So if you considered odd mode, which is equal to opposite phase, Vg2 equal to minus of Vg3, so that will be, magnitude will be equal to 2V0. So now if we consider like that, so this will become a short circuit part. So since the symmetry of the circuit, so if you consider the odd mode, what it will become, you will get, so this will be having 2, and you will get the short circuit point here, and you will be having, so this is the resistance which is R by 2, and here again the same value which is 1, and you will get here Pg2, okay, which is equal to 2V0, and this will be a short circuit point, and this will be a short circuit point, and this is your transmission line which is having a length of lambda by 4, and it will be having the impedance Z. Okay, so now if you this one will be R by 2, which is equal to, so as I said, it is equal to value 1. So we have divided the series resistance, which is root 2 value, so which is equal to 1. Earlier we have the resistance which is 2Z0, and we have normalized and it will become 2, and we have divided it as 1 ohm and 1 ohm. So the same thing we have written here. Okay, so now if you take the odd mode analysis, so you will be having V2 0 and V1 0 here. Okay, so since it is a short circuit point of here, point is there, so the voltage, so it will go here, and whatever the voltage it is there, it will divide between this resistance and this resistance. So V0 will be dropped here and V0 will be dropped here. Okay, so that's why what will be the voltage, V2 odd, it will be equal to V0 itself. Okay, and you can again find it out what is the input impedance. So Zin, so that will be equal to, so half into, you will get the, using the same transmission line, that is equation, so you will get it as root 2 square by 1. So this will be equal to half into 2, so this will be equal to 1. So this is a normalized impedance, which is, that is input impedance by taking the transmission line equation, so as it is. So here the input impedance which we have calculated. Okay, so this is the value of input impedance. So now after this odd mode and even mode analysis, so now we need to find out what is the scattering matrix for the Wilkinson power divider. So if you calculate that one, so as we have said, so the So the ports are all are matched. So S matrix, if you take the 3-port matrix, that is S11, S12, S13 and S21, S22 and S23. Similarly S31, S32 and S33. Okay. So now since the all the ports are matched, S11 equal to 0, okay, S22 equal to 0 and S33 will become equal to 0. Okay, since all the ports are matched, so these all it will become 0, and your S12, the power delivered between the port 1 and port 2, and it will be equal to S21. So this will be nothing but the voltages which we have find out in the even mode and odd mode analysis, that is V1E plus V1 0 and divided by V2E plus V2 odd. So if you find out this one, the scattering matrix, so this will be, so S12 will be equal to S21, that will become minus J by root 2. So if you substitute whatever we find out the values here, so we will get the scattering matrix which is equal to minus J by root 2. And similarly S13 equal to S31, so this is also it will be same as this one. So since the power which is delivered between port 2 and port 3 equally, okay, so and whatever other values which will become equal to 0. Okay, if you substitute S matrix here, so this is 0, S12 is minus J by root 2, S13 is minus J by root 2, and this one again minus J by root 2, and this is 0. So since S23 is isolated, so since the output ports are isolated, is it not? Okay. Okay. So since the output ports are isolated, so I'll just redraw it properly. Okay. So this output ports, port 2 and port 3, so since they are isolated between these two, so whatever the power it will go, the reflection it will be uh, delivered or it will be go through this resistor. So that's why the port 2 and port 3 it will be isolated. So since the port 2 and port 3 is isolated, your S23 will be equal to S32 and it will become equal to 0. Okay, so that will be S23 it will be 0, and your S31 again it is J minus J by root 2, and this S32 again it will be, so the since it is isolated it will be 0. So this is the S matrix for your Wilkinson power divider. Okay, so if you see here, so this is the your uh, the S matrix how it is coming. So since Z11 is matched, we will be having S11 0, and S22 and S23 will be 0 since port 2 and port 3 matched, and S12 and S21 by using this even and odd voltages we will find out what is the value, and S13 and S31 again it will be the same, which is the power delivered between port 1 and port 2 and port 1 and port 3 will be same. So that's why these matrices values are same, and S23 S32, so since it is isolated, and which will be having, so due to the short or open circuit or even the output ports are isolated, so that's why S23 and S32 will be 0. Okay, so this is the how the short circuit and open circuit, so it is shown here. So the terminated Wilkinson power divider, so this is using the value of resistor, and if it is open, so the bisection of the circuit, and this is the normalized input impedance at the port 1 and normalized impedance at port 2 and port 3. and this is a normalized value which is equal to root 2, the transmission line between these port 2 and port 1 points, that is equal to z equal to root 2, that we have shown already. Okay, so this is about the scattering matrix, and this is about the Wilkinson power divider. Okay, so is it understood? Any doubt? No. Hello, anybody is having any doubt?